pray for our Queen. Palace confirmed sad news about Queen's health fears with frail appearance. The Queen maintained her stoic posture despite showing signs of her age as she celebrates 70 years on the throne, according to a body language expert. The Queen became the first British monarch to reach the milestone of the Platinum Jubilee on Sunday. Her Majesty ascended the throne on February 6, 1952, aged 25, upon the death of her father, George VI. She marked the 70th anniversary of her accession on Saturday with a reception at her Sandringham estate in Norfolk, where she was presented with a cake boasting a royal emblem for the occasion. She chatted with Angela Wood, a former cookery student who had a hand in developing the dish associated with the start of the Queen's reign, coronation chicken. The monarch invited a host of volunteers and members of the local community to the King's Lynn estate as part of the Jubilee celebrations. Taking a look at how the Queen conducted herself at the engagement, body language expert Judy James described how the monarch cutting the cake would have brought a smile to the late Duke of Edinburgh's face. The Queen's husband of over 73 years, Prince Philip, died in April last year. Ms. James told, "If ever some poses were missing the smiling and probably chuckling presence of the Duke of Edinburgh, it is these, as the Queen prepares to celebrate her Platinum Jubilee without the one person who was at her side 70 years ago when she first became Queen." The humour as him sticks a knife into the cake would not have been lost on him, as it is so similar to the moment when the Queen chose to wield a large sword to cut a cake at the Eden Project recently. The looks of shock on the faces of the people around her were similar too, although it is pretty obvious here and back then that being in your 90s does not mean that all sharp objects should be kept out of reach just in case. Ms. James believed the Queen's choice to host the event herself, without the support of senior royals, contradicted signs of frailty, or wavering health. She added, "It might have been a deliberate decision by the Queen to bring no substitutes like one of her children to pose with her, but despite her rather solitary appearance and the signals of frailty like the walking stick, there are no signs of anything other than happiness and delight as she takes firm charge over the cake cutting and the meet and greets." The Queen's body language is clearly set to her usual stoic for the celebrations of her 70th year on the throne. She looks flattered and cheerful already, making the people around her laugh with her comments and showing total engagement with the people waiting to meet her. This will clearly be a very exciting and even fun-filled year for the Queen, despite the obvious slack of the man normally leaning over her and cracking the odd joke to enjoy the festivities with her. Queen shakes off health fears with stoic body language despite frail appearance. Though there are celebrations planned for June to mark the occasion, February 6 is the official date that marks the 70th anniversary the Queen ascended the throne. This was following the death of her father, King George VI, on the same date in 1952. She was months away from her 26th birthday when the King passed away, making her a queen at just 25 years old. At the time of the event, Queen Elizabeth II was on a state visit with her husband, Prince Philip, in Kenya. She and her late husband had been married for just 5 years at the time, and were due to continue onwards to Australia and New Zealand. She and Prince Philip were standing in for King George VI, who, despite being just 56 years old, was too ill to go on the trip. At the time of her father's death, the then princess was at the Treetops Hotel, surrounded by wild animals in Nyeri, Kenya. Queen Elizabeth II is 95 years old and will be turning 96 on April 21, 2022. She was also born on April 21 in 1926, but has 2 birthdays. One is on the actual date of her birth, while the other is always on the second Saturday of June each year.